Hello everyone, welcome back to another English online session. I hope you all fine. Today I am going to explain you the balance part of the topic determiners. I have already explained you this definite article, indefinite articles and demonstratives. Today I am going to explain you the other parts like pronouns. Pronouns replace nouns. The use of pronoun is it replaces noun. A different pronoun required depending on two elements. The noun being replaced and the function that noun has in the sentence. In English, pronouns only take the gender of the noun. They replace in the third person singular form. For example, he, she, it. The second person plural pronouns are identical to second person singular pronouns except for the reflexive pronoun. So, second person singular and plural are same as you all know. Let's see a few examples for this. The first one is subject pronouns. Subject pronouns replaces nouns that are the subject of their class in the third person. Subject pronouns are often used to avoid repetition of the subject name. I hope you all remember the subject pronouns. They are I, we, you as singular and plural. He, she, it, and the plural form is they. So these are the subject pronouns. Let's see a few sentences for this. I am 16. So here replace the noun we have used I. Okay, the first person. And second one, you seem lost. Singular, plural, you can use you. And third one, Jim is angry. And again, when that person's name is mentioned, we replace it with the third person pronoun, that is he. If it is a female means we use she. So, and he wants Sally to apologize. And look at the next sentence. This table is old. It needs to be painted. So again, the table, that word needed to repeat it, but to avoid that we use the pronoun it. And next one, we aren't coming. This is used as the first person plural pronoun. Next one, third person plural is they. They don't like pancakes. So these are the pronouns we use to replace the noun to avoid the repetition of noun. The first person singular is I, plural we. Second person singular is you, plural also the same, you. And the third person singular is he, she, it, and plural is they. Hope you understood the pronouns, especially subject pronouns. Now we can take a look at the object pronouns. Now let's see the object pronouns. Object pronouns are used to replace nouns that are the direct or indirect object of a class. Let's see some examples. Give the book to me. So here me is an object form and it is the object pronoun of I. And the teacher wants to talk to you. Again here you as object pronoun, subject pronoun as well as object pronoun is you. So object here, receiver of the act, and subject pronoun is the doer of the action. We need subject pronoun and object pronoun in a sentence to replace noun. Look at the third example. Jake is hurt because Bill hit him. Here him is the object pronoun of he. And the next example, Rashid received a letter from her last week. Here the object pronoun is her and it is the object pronoun of she. Subject pronoun is she. And next one is Mark can't find it. It is the object pronoun, same as subject pronoun. And next word is don't be angry with us. us is the object pronoun of we. And finally, tell them to hurry up. Here, the word them is the object pronoun of they. Now, possessive pronouns replace possessive nouns as they are the subject of the object of a class because the noun being replaced doesn't appear in the sentence. It must be clear from the context. Here, this bag is mine. Mine is the possessive pronoun and it is the pronoun of the possessive adjective my. It shows the belongingness, okay, the possessiveness of something. Someone possess something. And second one, your, and the possessive pronoun is yours. Third one, his, the same with the possessive adjective and pronoun. Fourth one, hers, okay. And fifth one, ours. And next one, theirs. So these are the possessive pronouns and possessive adjectives used to show the belongingness or possessiveness of something. Someone is possessing. That to give such meaning we use possessive adjectives, and to give object form we use possessive pronouns. The next category is quantifiers. Quantifiers are adjectives and adjectival phrases that give appropriate or specific answers the questions how much or how many. So these words are used to give appropriate answers, how much or how many. How much associate with uncountable and how many countable. Okay, so quantity, to indicate quantity we use quantifiers. The first one is some. The indefinite adjective some is generally used in affirmative sentences with uncountable and plural countable nouns. Let's see some example. Would you like some tea? Tea is an uncountable thing. So we use some in front of that to show a quantity, not exact. Could you give me some food? So some is used to indicate a quantity, especially in uncountable and plural countable category. And next one is any. The word any, it is used in questions when you want to ask whether something exists or not. It is also used in negative sentences where we want to say that something does not exist. Here, look at the example. Do you have any advice on the matter? So something, an advice exists or not? Do you have it or not? In such cases, we use any, the quantifier any. The next quantifier is little and much. These are used to refer to amount or quantity. Little is used to emphasize that there is a small amount of something, whereas much is used to emphasize on large quantities. So little means small quantity, much means large quantity. I want to spend a little time in Dubai. And look at the second example. Do you like to watch much television? So indicate a lot or a large quantity. The next quantifiers are few and many. These are mostly used to refer to a number. They are used before plural countable nouns. Few emphasize a smaller number and many refer to more numbers, a good number or a very large number. Let's see the examples. Few students came for the class today. So a less number of quantity can be said in by saying the word, referring the word few. Many people went to welcome the Indian cricket team. Here a large number of people went there. So to indicate a large number we use the word many. Next quantifier each and every. These determiners are used to refer to all numbers of a group, persons or things. When we talk about members as individual, we use each, and when we make a statement about a group, we use every. Let's see the examples. Each and every board member was present in the meeting. Today, a laptop and air conditioner can be seen in each house. Every child is said to have his or her own special abilities. And we here understood that if you mention each and every individual, we use the quantifier each, and as a group, about a lot of them in a group, we use every. Okay, these are the use of each and every. The next category is determiners of difference. The determiners of difference, other and another, refer to something different, remaining or additional. They are placed before a noun. So this indicates something different, remaining or additional, and it is placed before a noun. Let's see, the first category is other. Other can be used alone or after determiners some, any and no. So in a sentence, other can be used alone and also followed by some, any and no. Let's see the example. Is there any other bread? In this sentence, other is followed by any. And next sentence, look at the next sentence. I have some other sugar we could use. Here, other came after some. And look at the final example. We have no other idea. Here, all the sentences, if you look at that, other expresses the meaning different, remaining or additional. Look at the next word, another. Another is used with singular countable nouns. For uncountable nouns, another is often used with measure words that are singular. Let's see some examples. Have another cookie. Here, countable singular noun is used here. In front of that, another used. And next one, would you like another cup of tea? Here, uncountable noun, but a measurement is there, a cup. And the third one, I will come by another time. Here also a measurement given here, the time here mentioned. Now the next category is predeterminers. Predeterminers are normally placed before an indefinite article plus adjective plus noun. To express an opinion about the noun, they modify. Such and what are used to express surprise or other emotions. So here, such and what, those predeterminers, it used an article plus adjective plus noun. This is the order it used, and it expresses to express an opinion about the noun, they modify. Let's see one or two examples. She is such a beautiful woman. Here, a plus a article plus adjective plus the noun. Before that, such came, and here it is used to express an opinion about the noun, they modify. Noun here, woman. And look at the second example. You can't imagine what an incredible meal I just ate. So here, like I said, the predeterminer what plus an article an, and incredible an adjective, and meal is a noun. So here the other two words are saying something, giving a modification to meal. Just before that, we use to express an opinion, we use the predeterminer what. The next two predeterminers are rather and quite. Rather and quite are commenting words referring to the degree of a particular quality as expressed by the adjective that modifies the noun. For example, it was quite a nice day. And the quality, it expresses the quality by the adjective. The amount or the degree of the quality expressed about a noun. Look at the second example. I have just met rather a nice man. Okay, so it expresses the degree of particular quality expressed about a noun here. So these are the important determiners we have to keep in mind while framing sentences. Hope you understood this part of the video about determiners. Now frame your own examples that will help you to understand each and every determiner. See you in the next class. Bye.